who are some of the authors and that have inspired you in your journey?
Man, that's a tough question. So honestly, the one that just was hands down the person that was an author that really meant the most to me was my grandmother. And she did not write like kind of your standard fare, as it were. She did some deep genealogical work on her side of the family, and wrote quite a bit in that realm about the research that she did. Apparently, I am related to a near murderer. Her grandfather thought he killed somebody in a bar fight in Sweden, and apparently the sentence for killing somebody in Sweden in the late 1800s was death. And so he's like, I'm not sticking around here to get killed. And so he flees to America, and finds out a few years later that he didn't kill the guy, but definitely thought he did when it happened. So
Oh, man.
um, but yeah, I loved the idea of writing. She was a really inspirational person to me. Just such a like calm, formative, foundational person in my life. In terms of just like sheer brute force storytelling, Kay Applegate, the Animorphs author, a little bit more like
Mhm,
for our kids' generation, the
mhm.
one and only Ivan, I believe. I honestly never really expanded beyond the Animorph series because I'm a nerd, apparently. Um, uh, Honestly, like love that series to death. Uh, Gary Paulson of Hatchet. I read that single book when I was like 12, and it stuck to me so firmly that when I decided to finally pick it up and reread it again in July, I remembered most of the book almost verbatim, and so like him as an author, kind of like we're gonna think through like all of these processes within the survival. We're gonna think through all of these steps within the survival process. Just was super fascinating to me as a kid and as an adult. And then just like some heavy hitting classical authors, Alexandre Dumas. I absolutely love. Um, I'm completely blanking on his name. Uh, really blanking on the book now. Um, my goodness, the guy, the windmill guy with the Don Quixote,
Oh,
Cervantes. Yeah, and then of course some other kind of more modern authors, Tolkien, and Lewis, especially within the Chronicles of Narnia, all like played a strong role in like, hey, you can write good stories, like, and these guys and gals have done some amazing work that you can take some really cool ideas from.
mhm. Very cool. As I was preparing for us to get together for this, I started flipping through some of your old posts and pictures. I think I saw a picture of you with Brandon Sanderson.
Oh man, you got to that one. Yeah, so